Kia ora, Gemini. This is your reading for the full moon in Aries, which is happening, on the 8th, 9th, somewhere there. And it's only a couple of days away now. Remember, these are very general. Oops, we've got a bit of a lag. Very general, intuitive tarot. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Do check out the collective reading, and also there's some short crossroads readings for the 4 elements. So anyway, let's see what the cards have got for you this time round. Feels like, it's kind of things that a little bit tense, a little bit amped up. But anyway, can we get some cards for Gemini? Far too many. We do go through and clarify always and pull a Brian Froud at the end, and a rock mineral crystal card as well. We're coming out with you, actually, Gemini. We've got the Queen of Swords here, very straight up and down, precise thinking, very clear, very acute. It's often like Xray vision, you can see through something. You can see through something. Well, you can see many aspects to it, a situation, a person, all of that kind of thing. We've got the 8 of Cups coming out. Again, a level of objectivity. So possibly, there might be a Gemini out there feeling somewhat removed, which, removed from everything, which is not, it's neither good nor bad, it can be quite helpful at times. Let's see. Working, another 8. I think this came out heavily in your last new moon in Libra reading, where it was sort of working to avoid. Now, I'm a Gemini, so I'm not going to be, so it's like, this is just a card about working hard. And all the 8s are really heavily focused on having a level of, I guess, control, or understanding that you have control over your own mind. And the mind can be tricky, let's face it. It's not always beneficial and not always correct, but we do have control over it ourselves. So let's just get one more card, Gemini. So this level of objectivity about stuff that's going on at the moment is really good. And it is really good. We've got the 6 of discs coming out. It's a real good, even though maybe the idea of having a level of objectivity is allowing you more of a kind of free flow, like, because this is a generous card. It's not just generous in terms of coin. It's generous in terms of, offering and understanding that, you get in that flow of things, and what you offer, it naturally sort of comes back in not just specific forms, but in many different forms. So this hard work, you're working hard in the material sense of the word. And maybe in the, mentally as well, psychologically working quite hard. We've got 2 very independent cards on the bottom of the deck. We've got the 9 of discs, another disc, and we've got the Queen of discs on the top. So some very tangible resources, money being generated here. Yeah, it's good. But anyway, let's go through and clarify. Let's look at the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. This is a real good, this is good not to be swayed. You know, I think with the Queen of Swords, it's not swayed by what all the information flying around them, everything that's going on around them. They're not really swayed by that. And I think this is a great advantage for your Gemini at the moment. We've got the Ace of Wands. This is like a gift, you know, like that feeling, well, we're in the right place at the right time. This is a blast of, this is a real propulsion for that Queen of Swords. Because we're working with that energy, Gemini. We're working with that Ace of Wands energy. It is life force, it's vitality, and we're using it in a very precise, clear way at the moment. We've got a lot in our, what's the word? We've got a lot in our toolkit or whatever it is to be able to bring some really good things into form in our world at the moment. Let's look at the Eight of Cups for Gemini. Please just clarify the Eight. The Eight of Cups. Emotional objectivity is an advantage. We've got the Sun. Poof, what a relief, basking in this light. You know, this is fabulous. Vitality again. Actually having fun. Remembering to have fun, you know, play. Playing is good. Even if we're older, it doesn't matter what age you are. You know, the Sun is a vital, obviously, force that we're all very familiar with, and it allows us and everything else on the planet to continue to thrive. It's really nice reading, actually. It's got a nice feeling to it. Eight of Discs. To clarify, actually, I will take that. That just sort of flopped out. We'll just get one more card for the Eight of Discs, please. Let us see, Gemini. So Eight of Discs, working hard, we're perfecting, we're sort of creating, you know, whatever it is we're creating, we're working at something. We might not have, excuse me, seen the outcome of it yet. Seen the full, you know, the full Monty, the full reveal. We've not quite seen it yet, I don't think. To clarify that Eight, yeah, it is focusing, because it's focusing in a productive way on the things around you that you have control over as well. To clarify it, we've got two cards, the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Ten of Wands is a burden. Obviously, we're shedding that, whatever that's been. We've just got rid. It was a weight, maybe it was obligations to others that you've cut back on because you got to the end of the line with that. So it's kind of like focusing on the present, focusing on what it is you're passionate about, your work, is allowing you to, is actually part and parcel of shedding that which was a heavy weight. It's like entering a new space, you know, moving through a threshold. The Nine of Swords kind of goes with that Ten of Wands. The Nine of Swords is unfounded fear, you know, catastrophic thinking, projecting forward. What you're doing is the best possible thing for you, Gemini, is focusing actually on your work, on your passions, And I do think they're passions, more so than just trudging or doing the work kind of daily. It could be a daily thing, but you know what I mean? It's passion involved here with that Ace of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So it's really, really good. But as I said, you might not have seen the full outcome, which there is an outcome, or there will be, of that yet. So let's just have a look. I've got the Princess of, what are we looking at anyway here? We're looking at the Six of Discs. Beautiful, balanced card. Very harmonious card. Very harmonious card. Now, interesting, because that came out twice, this particular card, and I put it back. First and foremost, I'll show you in a minute. So to clarify, the Six of Discs, this lovely deep purse, this giving for the, you know, through generosity. We've got the Princess of Wands, very expressive. There's something within this. There's something within this reading where, yeah, you are focused on your passions, on what gives you pleasure at the moment. It's allowed you to release some burdensome thing and a torment that exists within the mind, the busy mind that's ever doing its critical thing, you know. That working card is really good for that. You're focusing. Yeah, you're aware of what's going on in the world and whatever, as much as anyone can be, but you're focusing, right? I'm getting to it. Bear with me. We get this Princess of Wands. This is a sort of baptismal fire that we see in this card, because she, female qualities here, not gender. I'm not speaking of gender. There's a kind of baptism of fire. What I'm getting from this last piece of this story is that you are actually, you know, the concept of giving and receiving. We're looking at the concept, your understanding of giving and receiving. And I do think that this is on your mind, or has been, with that Princess of Wands, full expression, right? Burning it off, full expression. Burning something out, full expression. We've got the Prince of Cups, an offering. We don't want to get lost in our own reflection in this card. We want to be able to offer freely in some ways. Do you know what I mean? But then we get this other last card that came out to clarify, the Six of Discs, which is the devil. Yes. Now, there's good aspects, and there's two sides to every coin. I think we're questioning, possibly, or just thinking about our relationships. Are we overgiving? Are we undergiving? Are we, which brings in the whole concept of, the archetype of the overgiver, giving just for acceptance, so one doesn't get abandoned, or, there's a wealth of information about that kind of thing. The thing is that overgivers generally attract, and I think this was in the Libran reading, elements of this as well. Overgiving often attracts, when you think, oh, why do I not receive? Maybe we're not seeing it, but also, when one does overgive as a sort of default habit, behavior, we often attract people that just take. So there's this aspect to it, just because the devil's here. Also look at the angle of you know, where you are bound. We're all addicts in some way. We all have addictive things, you know, whether it's substances or whether it's behavior, whether it's sort of people, codependency, that kind of thing. And so the devil sort of speaks of that as well. I think more so in this reading is that you yourself, Gemini, are feeling quite empowered at this point in time because you have understood a lot of these things, a lot of the aspects of your capacity to self-torment and your dependencies, your ability to shift your energy and be kind of detached emotionally. Now, that doesn't mean being disconnected. It means just having an objective stand as to how you operate within relationships or how you kind of view yourself or whatever. So it's all really positive, actually. It's a really positive storyline for you today for this full moon time. So let's just get a Brian Froud Pixie and Fairy. Maybe a couple. We got one. We got one. Yeah, don't underestimate your levels of wisdom, Gemini. Don't underestimate. Don't be afraid. We get two cards coming out. We get the Sage, Blind Eye. Well, maybe it's a Pearl. Maybe it's a Pearl. Able to see, as I was saying earlier in this reading, able to see many different sides to any given situation or person. Well, you know, Gemini, you have that ability and it can be very useful. I think you're learning how to use that. I mean, in the best possible way, instead of it kind of just being too much, you know, too much. It becomes sort of weaponry for one's own mind. That ability, we hurt ourselves with it instead of just embracing a level of objectivity and knowing that where we end and the rest of the world begins, you know, where we stand within that, what our boundaries are, all of that stuff. It's really good. And we have Tabira of the Waters, a beautiful healing card. This is about the ability to, you know, water is a wonderful conductor. It's a wonderful cleansing agent, obviously. And it will fill if there's any it fills every gap, you know. There's an expansive nature about healing because when we feel that we've experienced a level of healing, in regards to anything in our life, that will kind of venture out, spread out to others, you know, supporting others as well. It's just the nature of it. And it goes so well with this. But you've had to really forensically sort of dissect this for yourself, Gemini. And I think it's wonderful and it's incredibly positive reading. And you're really fired up at the moment. You're really fired up in terms of your mental acumen. Wow. Actually, I saw this somewhere on, maybe it was on Facebook or something. But it was quite impressive. Titanium rainbow quartz. We've got awakening all chakras. Boom. We're getting, you know, we're moving through here. clearing it out. Ultimate manifestation, word of the day, I know, but you know, we're bringing new things all the time into form in the real world. That is technically manifestation, isn't it? Vibrancy and a powerful shift. Now, I do think that relates to this reading quite well. So, Gemini, thanks so much for joining me. Take good care over this new moon. Do check out the other readings that might relate to you, and just take good care. Okay, cheery, bye.